we already know of one brand new, never before seen Pokemon that is confirmed to be inside of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, with it being teased in the first information that we got about the new Pokemon games. You'll meet a special Pokemon, and then follow-up interviews have confirmed that this is a Pokemon that we have never seen before. So getting a taste of the 8th generation 2019 main series games inside of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but with that, it kind of leads to some more questions. Is this going to be it? Is it just going to be one new Pokemon just kind of like teasing around for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Or will there be more? Is there any information that Game Freak has said about Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee that could maybe suggest that we're going to get more than just this one new Pokemon inside of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Well, that's the point of today's video, so let's see everything about this special Pokemon and potentially all the Pokemon inside of the first games for the Nintendo Switch. So the special Pokemon Go players can meet by connecting the two games, will be new to the series and has never been seen before. This was confirmed on May 30th from IGN with a follow-up kind of story going on with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. As for the other features players can get out of Connect and Go and Let's Go, company plans to reveal more down the line, so more features are coming. The Pokemon Company also has plans for the Pokeball Plus beyond the Let's Go games, citing further value and kind of proving that with the Pokeball Plus. But then other information about the Pokemon actually inside of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee come from the official website. So Pokemon News. Creators share more details on upcoming games. If Pokemon Go, Let's Go Pikachu, and Let's Go Eevee are based on Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, will they have only the original 151 Pokemon? For example, will it not include more than the 3 original evolutions of Eevee? Well, the weird thing that upsets me is that this question isn't directly answered. I really hope that it would have just been, no, it's just that, because Masuda, in general, it's the original 151. But we already know that that's kind of not the case, but as we just showed with Alolan Exeggutor, some of the Alolan variants will also appear. So we're going to have Alolan Pokemon, so just kind of Kanto variants. Mega Evolution was recently confirmed. That was another thing that kind of sparked this video. As we're getting more and more information about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Mega Evolution, that wasn't in the original games. It's a pretty massive addition to existing Kanto Pokemon, and does that leave the door open for actually introducing more new Mega Evolutions of existing Kanto Pokemon? Because only having 15 Mega Evolutions of 13 species out of the original 151 roster, it kind of feels like that, you know, it's just going to be not that fulfilling. It's like, okay, so now everyone's just going to resort to Megas and all the OPs, and then instead of actually giving Pokemon a balanced chance, well, now there's only 5 move slots left because one of them has to be a Mega if you want to have, like, the best, strongest Pokemon on your team. And then what about Pokemon like Lapras, Dugong, Victory Bell, any of the Pokemon that people want to get Megas? Are they going to be left behind, or are they going to get some kind of upgrade, evolution, Mega Evolution, or change that actually makes them more desirable when playing these Pokemon games, instead of just kind of condensing everything down to where it's been standardized? And then that leaves us with the new Pokemon. So one new Pokemon has already been confirmed, so this in general seems pretty vague and general. And then we have something a bit more recent, so this happened in July. One thing we'd really like to know, will any completely new Pokemon appear? It feels like they might. Now here's the big problem with Pokemon. It's both plural and singular. It's not like saying, I have 20 apples, it's, I have 20 Pokemon, or look at this one Pokemon. So they might. It feels like they might. The game is set in the Kanto region, so some people might look at it like a remake of Yellow, but we're planning to add new elements, including Pokemon, that you see for the first time. So is this the singular use, or is it actually a plural use? Because they might. So it feels like there's going to be more Pokemon, multiple, plural. We're planning on adding new elements. Plural, including Pokemon. Yeah, and we've already seen a lot of elements as well as returning things. So adding, actually, I wonder if that's actually seen as a new element, Alolan Pokemon. Those are new elements compared to the original, just the original Yellow version. So yeah, remake of Pokemon Yellow, but we're adding new to it. So Megas, adding that new to the remake. Alolan, adding that new to the remake. Multiple new Pokemon we've never seen before. And then that leaves some questions about the new Pokemon. Is it going to be a mythical Pokemon similar to what happened with Magearna? That Magearna was actually the first 7th generation Pokemon that was revealed, but it was revealed so early. It was before Pokemon Sun and Moon. It was actually revealed through merchandise before we even knew about the tease in Korokoro or the leak about Magearna. So we already have like a few things that were building up into this new Pokemon, and we didn't know if it was 7th generation or a very late addition to the 6th generation, and it seems like we're kind of in that same spot. But now that we had Zeraora being a Pokemon that was only in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, data mining didn't reveal anything in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but then we had new Pokemon. We had new Ultra Beasts, new forms, all kinds of new stuff added into Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so this is going to be an addition. Are we getting a new 7th generation Pokemon? Are we going to get an early tease of the 8th generation Pokemon and stuff like that? Is it an evolution, like we've seen with the Sylveon reveal? That Sylveon came before pretty much everything else in Pokemon X and Y, but it was, hey, this is the start of 6th generation, get ready, have fun, but here's something familiar. So is that what's going to kind of tie all the players together? That we have an evolution of an existing Kanto Pokemon, maybe not just Eevee, that's kind of teased as this new Pokemon that we're going to meet. Like, could you imagine that? What else would be like the craziest way than being like, oh, by the way, here's an evolution to Farfetch'd? And then you get to think, oh man, which Kanto Pokemon are getting evolutions of the 8th generation? And then that's going to bring all these Pokemon Go players, all the integration that Game Freak wants with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee into main series. That's going to be a really free way to kind of tie it in. So is it going to be something exclusive? Is it new? Is it going to be familiar? Is it just going to be a random 8th generation Pokemon that's like, hey, I fit in somewhere and you're going to find out when? So that's kind of like what we're looking forward to right here. And it all just goes off of this vague comment, but you know, it's not just a yellow remake. It also makes me feel like the hate about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is just less and less justified with each and every day, or each and every little bit of information that we got. You know, we're planning on adding new elements. It's not just you're paying $60 for a remake of Kanto again. There's going to be so much more in this game. It's a massive upgrade, and it's just going to be an incredible Pokemon experience overall. So, including Pokemon that you see for the first time. Is that Megas? Is that new Pokemon? Is it just one? Is it more? That's kind of where things get crazy, and then we can go and transition into where the merchandise has been going, because now that we have Mega Evolution confirmed in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there's other merchandise holes that are just kind of needing of being filled in, and that's going to happen by September. So we're going to see all kinds of crazy stuff pour in. So the last few were pretty predictable. The next two will blow the releases wide open. So this is following a long chain of Pokemon merchandise that has been, you know, going on for a couple weeks now, but this is kind of going about Build-A-Bear. So the 9th Pokemon Build-A-Bear plush is now in production. And even though the last ones were predictable, this one really isn't. So we have this, like, you know, we got Bulbasaur, we have some of the starter Pokemon, we have Pikachu, Eevee, Meowth. Man, look at all this fun Build-A-Bear stuff awaiting images. Alright, so Mystery Bear, that's the name. So we have the mystery Pokemon to be determined, while we're also going along with all of this other crazy stuff that we don't have information on. We have this random Eevee merchandise with a mystery right here. New evolution, is it just going to be merchandise for the female Eevee since that's a new form? We don't really know. Paul Ryan, the webmaster of PokeShopper. September 28th is the confirmed date for the reveals of the Mega re-release figurines by Takara Tomy coming in November. 2019 merchandise schedules are already being laid out on the site. So we have everything there. Like, the merchandise, they're waiting to fill in the gaps. They're waiting for the go-ahead from the Pokemon Company. When something is finally revealed, that's when the floodgates are open, because they're already looking 2019. We're already working on that next phase almost 6 months down from now. Actually, maybe even further than that, you know. Sun and Moon logo still apparent even as far as March 2019. So we're talking about March 2019 merchandise right now. And that means there's all kinds of stuff, you know, in there. So it's safe to say that the 808 edition will be fully involved in Sun and Moon, Let's Go Pikachu, and Eevee promotional goods. That's pretty interesting to think about. PokeShopper update. Takara Tomy figurine list publication indicates Mega Charizard, X, Y, and Venusaur, Mega Blastoise are all to be released this November. This happened August 1st. We got the confirmation of Mega Evolutions a week later, actually over a week later, from the official Pokemon channel. So the merchandise just like kind of having all of the stuff that needs to be filled in, but there's numerous dates that tie together, simply viewed as Poipole, Ultra Necrozma, Kanto Evolutionary starters with their Megas, Eevee Pikachu, and then 808 somewhere in between. Having recorded solid data over the last 3 months, I'm more inclined to say that Generation 7 isn't over. Number 808 is likely a Ultra Sun Ultra Moon edition as opposed to Generation 8, given confirmation of a late 29 release, and we'll post again as soon as more appears. Porygon Lapras figurines also confirmed, so there's all kinds of stuff. Mega Evolution has a really high chance of appearing, so this is before it was confirmed. And then even anything is possible, you know. Does this suggest the possibility of brand new Mega Evolutions? Anything is possible, and there's still a lot of gaps that haven't really been filled in. And that's where, like, Paul Ryan, he is on this one. Number of people are asking where the full list of catalog scans are. There are none at the moment, I only have certain details. Same scans from Takara Tomy for fall were published on July 14, 2017. The delay is apparent, and it was obviously delayed for a reason. Not as clear-cut and easy as people think from the outside. You know, I can only work with so much, and delays are put out deliberately, especially if operated with unrevealed territory. So something new exists there, hasn't been released, isn't ready to be released. This information goes back to July 14th, but that's where the gaps are, that's where the holes are. So we're kind of waiting until September rolls around where everything's out. So by September 28th, by the end of September, all this merchandise will be revealed, and then sometime in between is when we get that big confirmation, and it's looking like Pokemon Worlds near late August. So that could either be Pokemon 808, a batch of new Pokemon, new Mega Evolutions, but there's a lot there to actually support this, and it just goes back to some of the other statements. In general, it's just going to be the 151, but we know that it goes a little beyond that, and then there's going to be new Pokemon confirmed that we haven't seen before to just kind of splash in all these new features that are going on, and then that's just kind of why, you know, the next two will blow the releases wide open. We're waiting on Build-A-Bear, we're waiting on all the other merchandise, we're waiting on some big official news with all the information that hasn't been revealed. 808, we don't need merchandise, we don't need anything, we know this Pokemon is new, we know it exists, and we know it's going to be revealed at some point. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, and then if there's any other space, we're going to find it through merchandise. There might be some more teases as we go into that. That's where things are going to get pretty crazy. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.